Everything's looking good so far. Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be cutting carbon fiber. We're going to be drilling holes and practicing and seeing the best speeds, plunge rates, and as well as what end mills we should use. And this is kind of like a test run. It's experimental of the way I have everything set up and recording. So I really want your feedback on that and what you guys think. It's more of an educational video more than anything here. That's what I'm aiming to do because there isn't really much online for carbon fiber. So let's just learn it together. Whatever I learn, you guys, just relay it back to you, and then you guys can use it if you ever wanted to cut carbon fiber. We'll also do other things later on, but since I have a stack full of carbon fiber waste, then we're just gonna start with that. So today we're gonna be drilling holes, to be exact. I'm gonna show you how to make the drilling profile on that PC. And then later on, we're gonna move it to this PC, which is going to be preparing the CNC machine to cut. For example, setting the where it's gonna start cutting and just all these types of things. So we're gonna load up the cutting profile here and start cutting. And we have our camera setups everywhere here. Hopefully it's a really nice camera setup. I've been working on it for 4 hours now to get it just right. Now let's take a look at my setup here. So currently we have the Xt60 600. This is, I think, the D series, not the Q series. The Xt60 2 basically. And I'm using a Hakcrc spindle. I'm using the 800. Now its minimum RPM is 10,000 and its maximum is 29,000. So first we're gonna run it at 10,000 because online it's saying anywhere between 5,000 and 6,000 you should be cutting carbon fiber. But I see that, it's basically, you have to find that sweet spot between the speed that you're moving and as well as the speed of the spindle. So theoretically, if I can't cut at 5,000, then if I increase the cutting speed, then I should get better results. But you just never know with the different types of end mills. So let's take a closer look here. Now, as you can tell here, I'm cutting in water. Now, cutting in water is good. One thing, I don't have ventilation here, and carbon fiber dust is very dangerous. Two, the water is cold and it keeps the overall end mill cool as well as the carbon fiber, so we get better cuts. However, with cheap carbon fiber, what you will start to notice is really ugly white spots that you cannot remove. That is due to possibly air pockets within the resin when they were created. This is a really cheap carbon fiber, by the way. I got these on sale from Hobby King a long time ago. They were a really good sale. And I picked them up to try to, make my own custom CNCing my frames. And, I can't sell those because they were just terrible. The carbon just got white because I was cutting it in the water. So maybe because of the vibrations, it also picked up these pocket bubbles, air bubbles, which gave me that white stuff they're just like white spots that you can't remove. Now, you'll probably be like, okay, why don't you polish it? I did actually try to polish it, and it just wasn't worth it. So I just ended up going to China for that. All right, so we have the water bath here, and the way that you actually hold this into place, these mounts. Now, the line here is a static line, which means cannot be moved, and it comes within the bed itself. Now these here are magnetic, which is really cool. Let me actually show you one. So as you can tell, these are magnetic, and what you do is you just stick them in and they're just held as magnets here, and that creates rigidity for some weird part like this. As you can tell, I've inserted one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here, and I can actually move these and tighten them. So that'll give me a lot of rigidity, and there's no play, which is something you want when you're cutting carbon fiber or cutting anything. You don't want any play. So that's what we're doing. I also have my GoPro set up right there, and I have a Firefly right here recording. And as you can tell, I also have my lights just to give a better, better video quality, basically. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to the PC and start the cutting profiles. We're just going to be drilling holes. Possibly we'll drill some lines and stuff, but I think we should keep that for later because there's a lot of things we have to do, possibly like tabs and stuff. And I want to keep this short, simple, and full of information. So let's jump to the PC and we'll take it from there. All right, guys, so right now we have our model. We're going to cut a total of 18 holes, 3 different cutting profiles, and each profile will get 2 different speeds at which it cuts. So that's called the plunge rate. So let's go ahead and set up our first drilling profile. I need to take something into consideration. When you drill, it will not, for example, we have a 3mm end mill, and right now we're going to be drilling 4mm holes, but they're going to end up just being 3mm. Because of the way we're going to cut these. Now there's something called 2D contour, which would go in and then you can make it larger. So for example, we could use the drilling to make the holes, come back with a smaller end mill, and then just carve it out and see if that'll do. But we'll keep that for a later step. Let's go ahead and see how we can do the cleanest straight through drill. and hopefully we get one here. Obviously it's going to take a lot of practice, so let's go ahead and pick our current cutting mill, end mill. Alright, so what I'm going to do is set this 10,000. It doesn't matter because our speed is set manually through the device. We're going to start with plunge rate 100 millimeters per minute, which is the speed as which it goes down here. So I'm just going to deselect this one here. So we're going to do these at we said at 100. Let's just double check that. So 100 millimeters. Doesn't matter here. And let's see what else we have. So this is pretty important here. This is, how far it should go up, retract height, feed height. What really matters here is if we just go -2 here, not whole bottom, we're going to say from the stock bottom. So it'll go 2 millimeters through the hole. This way we know we have a straight flush hole. And there's different cutting profiles. We're going to try this one first. We're going to try the first one here. Let's go ahead and set that up. Now we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to do, the next one's going to be 50 millimeters per minute. So the next one we're going to try is deep drilling, which means it'll go in and then it'll retract a little. But you can have it also dwell before retract. That means once it goes in, you can have it wait for a bit and then come back up and then go back in deeper. So here we're going to do, let's keep it default. So it's going to, every time it's going to go down, it's going to go down 0.75 millimeters, come back up, then do it again until it goes through. So we'll keep that 0.75 millimeters. We don't want it to dwell inside, and we're just going to double check our feed rate. This one's going to be 100. All right, and for the last profile, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do this bore here. Now, we can't use 2D contours currently because the end mill size is too large. All right, so now let's go ahead and simulate everything. So let's go ahead and see, this is the first profile for the first 6 here. Obviously different speed rates. So this is how these are going to be cut, but at different speeds. So the first 3 are at 100 millimeters per minute. The others are going to be at 50 millimeters per minute. And then the next one we have is the deep drill, which is going to be the second row here. And again, 100 millimeters per minute. And then the second 3 is going to be 50 millimeters per minute. So you can see how it's going to cut these holes. And then the last one is going to be bore, which you'll see right now. And again, also 150 millimeters per minute. So that's what's going to happen. This one's going to be at 100, and then the other 3 are going to be at 50 millimeters per minute. So everything here looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and export everything. All right, guys, so now we just took everything off that PC and we're going to start setting everything up on this PC here. So let's go ahead and log into the screen right there and we'll take it from there. All right, guys, so the first thing we want to do now is we want to see where we want to cut. But first I want to make sure everything is homed in here. All right, so once everything is homed in, I want to go ahead and see where I want to cut. So I'm going to cut it right at like the second part of the frame, if you kind of know what I mean. So let's go ahead and just get into that area. All right, so around this area is going to be good. So what I want to do is I'm just going to 0 all, because this is not where I want to cut exactly, but it's going to be in this area. So we're going to go ahead and load up the toolpath. Now check this out. When I move, you can see that line moving across. So this way we'll know if we're going to hit one of those mounts here. So far it seems like I think we're not. Okay, so I've kind of zeroed everything out where I want it to cut. Now you can see this little yellow dot going on my software here. And what that tells me is where it's going to be moving and where it is currently in space. So what I do is I go to the edges here to make sure I'm not going to hit anything or I'm not going to drill into one of those mounts. So right now we're on the bottom right corner. That looks clear of everything. I'm going to go to the left side. From where I'm standing, that looks good. And then if we move up here, nothing there and nothing here. So everything's looking great. Now what we need to do is basically zero in the Z-axis. So zeroing in the Z-axis is not that tricky, but if you're going to be doing it in water, you need something like that's kind of plastic, because if you use if you use paper, then basically it'll melt. So this is going to be a little bit tricky here. I'm going to just put this right under the end mill. It's kind of like the 3D printing calibration. And I'm going to go back to the software. I'm going to drop my feed rate, which is the speed. And I'm going to say drop 0.10. Drop 0.10 of a millimeter at a time. Okay. So it's a little bit difficult because it's really far away. There we go. There, I think that's going to be good right now. A little bit more, but that's totally fine because it's carbon fiber. It's not that sensitive. So now what we want to do is we want to go here to the Z and zero in the Z. Tell it this is where it starts from. So now we can just go up All right. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start the drilling process. So I'm just gonna boot this up on the lowest speed. And that's started spinning because everything is manual here. And then next step is we are going to click start. So I click start. Now when you do that, you gotta also be careful. Just be ready to press the stop button just in case shit goes down wrong. Everything's looking good so far. As you can tell, the water gets dirty, so it gets difficult to see as well. So I'm gonna try to move away from here. Hopefully you can hear me better. But the GoPro is hitting the carbon fiber, but that's fine for now. It's not really a big issue. It's waterproof. So this is the deep drill. This is the second drilling profile currently that it's doing right now, as you can see. So currently this is the boring profile right now, where it's just spinning around in a circle. It's going down, it's just doing this. Hopefully everything turns out to be great, and yeah. You can also see in the software right now how it's doing the boring and just how it's doing everything in the whole route of the tool head, how it's going to be running currently. All right, and it's finished. So let's go ahead and turn this off, and let's hope for the best. All right, guys, so here are the results. So on the left side, we have the 50 millimeter per second speed. On the right side, we have the 100 millimeter. And as you can tell, this is the first profile here was the one that just went straight through. This one was the one that was like pecking. It was just going in and out. And then that bigger one is the boring. That's why we got the exact 4 millimeter holes here. And we're gonna measure them in a bit right now. So let's flip this over. So left side was 50 and the right side was 100 millimeter. Now when we flip it over, it's going to be backwards. So as you can tell, that's not great at all. And this has to do with a lot of things, you know, temperature. Well, currently we don't have really much to do with temperature, but speed, cutting rate, end mill, and is also a huge factor is the quality of the carbon fiber. So you might need different profiles for different carbon fiber, and we'll keep practicing. However, this video is just to show you the process of how everything works. And if you ever were thinking of getting into CNCing, it works the same way for every other CNC machine as well. But theoretically, all CNC machines should, especially desktop CNC machines, should theoretically cut at the same speed, because it's a pretty slow speed. It's nothing too crazy fast, so yeah. And if you're curious about my setup here, the way that I fill this up with water is I have this little bucket down here, and I have a really cheap $6 water pump that I found on Banggood, and I use that to push water here, up here, and then I also have one that pushes water out there, but I can't find it. It's to keep it clean while I'm, you know, cutting, and I want to see if all the cuts are doing great. Because once you start cutting like this amount of things, then the water just gets black, and you don't know how well you're doing, and you don't know if a part fell or anything of that nature. All right, guys. So how did it go? Well, the cuts didn't come out so good, but obviously just practice. You know, different carbon fibers, different end mills. I'll have everything linked down below if you want to go ahead and check them out. The end mill we used was this type. I've also gotten recommendations of other end mills, but that will be in a later video. Right now I'm just, you know, this is like a instructional video to kind of give you an idea of what it takes to start CNCing something. And I just really want your feedback on the camera setup and just everything and what you guys want to see. Do you guys want to see summarized even more? Do you want to see more of everything? So let me know how you want to see it, speed lapse. I'm still experimenting here with the best way to do this. So at the end of the day, it's what you guys like. It's not what I like. So I'm trying different things out for these types of projects, because there's a couple other projects that are going to be upcoming, which is I'm going to start building the brushless micro thrust stand for, like, you know, like the brushless whoops motors, those, and, you know, 11XX class setups. So I'm going to build a really nice thrust stand for that, and I really want to get into it. And also the DIY X class, I'm just saving up a little money to buy the parts that I need. I don't have everything just yet. I do have the carbon fiber, which is really good, but I still need other parts from Hobby King in order to get it done. And well, that's it guys. Let me know if you like this. I could do more instructional videos of step by step on things, you know. I'll take it down, break everything down step by step, and we'll take it from there. And obviously I'll keep you updated on the cutting profiles. I'll do more in-depth stuff later on. Right now it's just basically it's kind of like just an introduction to this type of content. And I just want to know your feedback, really. That's the whole goal here. Alright guys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do like this content, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe, and also comment down below. And I also do have a Patreon. If you can support me there, that would be super awesome. And if you could check out the links down below, those greatly support the channel. I have links to everything I use down here, down below. So if you could check those out, again, that greatly supports the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.